Team, episode 1, Yarns with Beef and Matt. I'm Matt.
And I'm Beef.
That's all you need to know about that. Today's episode, primarily just a get to know us and get to know the vision we have for this podcast going forward. So, to do with us first, I guess we've known each other for a few years now.
Yeah, I think we met when I rolled into the gym. Well, you're a bit of an affiliate owner yourself and was a coach on the day. And I was on a bit of a journey through weight loss and just trying to get a bit fitter, a bit healthier. And came into your presence. Then a few months, what do you reckon, a few months before?
Yeah, I know a few months into it, you said you were going into media, sort of picking up a camera and trying to make that dream come into fruition. And it was pretty soon after that, I think we started talking about the idea of you doing some advertisement for the gym, which if you jump on our Instagram, I think if you scroll back long enough, you'll see that first advert that you did.
Oh, how good.
It was cool though.
Yeah. No, it was right at the start of my journey, and I think it was actually really cool that you gave me the opportunity to sort of further that a bit and sort of just have a crack, because up until then I was doing highlight videos of the boys.
Yeah, you're doing a lot of basketball stuff, weren't you?
Yeah, pretty much.
I think if you even go back on the page, all of that media stuff, because CrossFit Nationals was going on and we had the 3 girls competing. You did all that hype sort of promo for that. So yeah, go have a look at that. Like the page, leave it a follow.
It's real good.
So that's how we met. I was a coach. You came in and then started going forward with the media stuff. And then from there, I guess, just became quite good friends.
Yep.
Outside of the gym as well.
Yeah, because I was living here too, so it was the local. Good gym, good training, and it's just set me a good foundation around CrossFit, which is our main shared common interests, and whiskey.
Yeah. A bit early for that, but
but and then I actually made the move over to the Bay, but now we've still kept in touch and always see each other at comps and everything. So
and I think that's another reason for doing this podcast as well, is that gives us an excuse to catch up once a week.
Yeah, for sure.
So added bonus. So going forward, I think we're gonna try to ask some questions. See what happens.
Go for it, man. Let's just roll.
Sweet as. All right. First thing I wanted to ask from you is, I know you already touched on it, you were on a journey, but what was the main reason you started your CrossFit journey?
Obviously health and fitness. I was in a bit of a low point in my life, and my physical health and I suppose my mental health, but that wasn't a priority back then. But definitely my physical health, I just knew it needed work. And growing up through college playing basketball, our coach had us do CrossFit, and it just worked wonders. As a team, we could just outperform the other teams just because we were fitter. When you're tired, we just keep moving. So CrossFit, I knew had that ability to just build that foundation around health and fitness, really, and being able to move and keep moving, which was something I was struggling with. Fucking holding my breath to tie my shoelaces, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So now that's what sort of kicked my ass and got me into the gym. And they say people change when it's more difficult to stay where you are. So I just wanted to be better. So that's what drove me into the gym and into your arms.
That's the first mistake. Yeah, that's good. No, that's awesome, man. Yeah, I still remember you coming in for the first time. I couldn't remember what the workout was, but I definitely remember
me battling
coming in. I remember you. Did Tama come in at the same time? Shout out to Tama. No.
Nah. He came in like a year later.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I was a bit of a lone wolf for a while.
But I remember you going head first into it, man. It was like, I think you signed up to the 3 sessions a week, and then 2 weeks into it, unlimited, straight into it.
Man's got money now.
I was signing them up. But yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Sign up. So yeah, it's been a few years since then. Yeah, like you said, you moved to the Bay now.
Yeah, bro, living in the Bay. Been there.
The Bay, that's Tauranga, Papamoa.
Yeah, Bay of Plenty.
Yeah.
How long I've been there now? September 21 I moved.
Yeah.
It's what month? It's June 23 now.
Yeah.
So nearly 2 years.
Yep.
Yeah, went over there to be with my partner and loving that decision. Since then, I've now gone full time with my content, which is pretty sick.
Yeah, that's massive. So, which leads me on to my next question was, what were you doing before you became such a massive media influencer?
Oh, massive. Okay. I know about massive, but I've been engineering for 7 years. I've been a qualified mechanical engineer for 4 of those.
Yep.
And was doing a whole big variety of work while I was living in the Waikato. Went over there, was doing structural steel, and I just knew I just couldn't keep doing that for the rest of my life. Waking up at 4 or 5, whatever it was, working for 10 to 12 hours, and then trying to find the energy and to come home, be passionate, and do stuff that I enjoy. It wasn't going to work. So now doing content full time is definitely much more rewarding. It's a lot easier to get out of bed in the morning,
For sure. Yeah.
even if it is at 8 o'clock. And I'm just loving it, man. And doing a heap of work on the CrossFit space. I love the sport. I love watching the sport. I love videoing the sport, and the energy behind it is the energy that I try to bring forward in all my work. So, it's a good time.
Oh, awesome, man. That's good. Yeah, maybe you're always saying, even when you first picked up the camera, that you're a good engineer and you like the job, but it was always moving towards being full-time media production, content creating, and that kind of stuff. And that's awesome. It's there now. Yeah.
Let's go.
Definitely there now. Finally got that new laptop.
Oh, about time, bro. About time.
Yeah, it was painful watching you do those videos earlier in the space on your old laptop.
Yeah, it would have taken me like 2 weeks to churn out a 30
like
second.
a 30-second video.
Bro, the struggle. I'm telling you.
Yeah, man. No, that's good. Awesome, man. Oh, that's good.
Did you want to throw some questions your
Yeah,
way?
we'll make it two-way, eh?
I knew I'd get in front of the camera and on the mic, and I'd just go blank. So I've written a few things down. I guess I'll start off with something you've asked me, but what would be your motives behind the podcast? Like, where do you want this to go?
Well, we've been talking about it for the last 2 years. Yeah, probably the last 6 months. Definitely been more serious. What gear to invest in, that kind of stuff. But for me, definitely putting more of a spotlight on this side of the world as far as CrossFit athletes and that kind of stuff. I feel like there's so much more to offer here in terms of quality athletes, not just the elite side, but also the teenagers as well, which is a massive part of what I do at the gym. I think putting a spotlight on all of that kind of stuff, getting on interesting guests to talk to is going to be huge for this as well, which, we won't leak anything, but there's definitely, we've got some pretty cool names in the pipelines.
Yeah,
so I'm pretty excited about that. Main motivation is to, one, have a good conversation with good people like yourself and any guests that come on, and just putting a spotlight on, what this region, Oceania, has to offer in the CrossFit world.
Sick, man.
Yeah, man.
Sick. Yeah, that's real good. Yeah. You use the word, what'd you say? Sort of behind CrossFit athletes, you want to know what sort of makes them tick?
Yeah, getting a more in-depth sort of picture as to, what makes an elite CrossFit athlete, want to put themselves through that. I mean, if you're listening to this podcast, you've probably done CrossFit. You do an hour a day. Every single workout, you go, that was hard. Why do I keep doing this? And that's 1 hour of CrossFit. What makes these elite athletes want to just go in, day out, for hours at a time, put their body through hell?
It's literally a job.
Yeah. I want to know, what the internals of that. And people making, I won't name any names, but you've got people that have missed year after year after year. What makes them want to keep going back? you know, that drive to, you know, you've missed it that many times, just on the hope that you make it. So getting a more in-depth analysis into that kind of stuff, what, you know, the mind of a elite CrossFit athlete.
Mentality, bro. Yeah, for sure. I think for me, obviously I love the sport of CrossFit, and that's how we vibe. And for me, what makes me an authority to speak on CrossFit, I'm not, but I've always had a passion. Okay, no, that's a lie. In the last couple of years, I've picked up a passion for mindset, working on myself primarily, but it intrigues me. I listen to podcasts all the time, and just love listening to those people speak on what it takes to be just that next level in humanity. And I'd love to get that out of our guests. You don't have to be a games athlete to come on the pod, but we definitely want to know what makes you tick, how you think, how you work through your struggles. Me in my past, we've touched on it, but I went through a real bad time. So what sort of bad times have other people gone through? How have they made it out the other end? And getting through my journey, I know that communication was a big thing to get me out of. And like you said before, this is just a good opportunity. If this doesn't go anywhere, this is just a good opportunity for me and you to catch up on a weekly basis and have a yarn.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I think, you don't have to be a games athlete to come on here. And that's what's going to be exciting, is that we're going to get people from all walks of life, you know, centered around, you know, CrossFit and fitness, but, you know, seeing everyone's sort of journey through that. And I think, not just asking, you know, what's your snatch PR, you know, what semifinals do you hope to make, or, you know, that kind of stuff. Because you can just watch what they're releasing on their social media platforms if you want to know that stuff. Definitely want to know more behind the athlete, what got them there. Like you said, if it was mental struggles in their life, you know, what have they had to overcome to get to where they are, as well as, you know, the cool stuff as well.
But we don't want this to be just a superficial chat, you know. What's your favorite chocolate?
Yeah. I mean, we will ask that question.
That is a go-to. That's sweet, man. I sort of touched on my background. I did want to know sort of what's your journey through life thus far. How did you come to be a CrossFit affiliate owner?
Yeah, so I guess before the CrossFit world, I was a mechanic from the age of 16. I think that was when I first stepped into a mechanic shop, or just normal automotive. Did that for a while and then switched to being a heavy diesel mechanic, which I did for 7 or 8 years. Qualified in that area as a heavy diesel mechanic. And 2013, I saw the CrossFit Games on ESPN randomly at home. Rich Froning winning his 3rd title.
Legend.
Rich Froning's that guy before that other guy that won a few, but he was the original gold standard, and always will be, in my opinion.
Coach, all right.
Yeah. Anyway, I was watching him win his 3rd title, and just watching those games was intense. If you haven't watched the 2013 CrossFit Games, that was a great test of fitness, man. Like Jason Khalifa, Josh Bridges, the OGs, but a good test of fitness. And I was watching it, and I was like, man, that just looks intense. It was really cool fitness. I was kind of into the gym at the time, but it wasn't massive for me. I was playing rugby. Thought that was it, you know. So I thought, no, I'm going to give this a go. So I Googled CrossFit gyms in my area, and just so happens that like 3 months prior to me Googling that, a CrossFit gym in Te Awamutu had opened up. CrossFit Wiper was the original name. Adam Kudrell, if you're watching, if you're listening, he's the man. He made all that happen. And so I walked in there, knew half the gym already because Te Awamutu is not that big. So, you know, pretty comfortable. Right. First workout was Isabel, and I'm going to say at 30 kgs.
Okay.
I think I had 2 5s on each side. And, 30 snatches for time at 30 kgs, leveled me. I was like, this...
Done.
you know, yeah. And from that moment on, hooked. You know, reasons for wanting to get into CrossFit. I mean, I had some struggles growing up and that kind of stuff, which, you know, we might get into on another episode. But just being able to switch off for an hour and not have to worry about anything other than just like staying alive, you know, it clicked with me massively. You know, I was hooked from then. Fast forward 2017, I was actually in Europe at the time, doing a bit of an OE, and the new owner of the gym, Adam, had since moved back to the UK. The new owner of the gym messaged me and said, "Do you want to start doing some coaching at the gym when you get back?" He just needed help coaching. He was pretty new to owning the gym. He like spent a bit of money setting it up. And I was like, "Yeah, man, yep, sounds good." I've been doing CrossFit since 2013 then. Been trying to get good at it.
We all try, bro.
Tried really hard and got nowhere with it. Wasn't doing the right stuff, but I thought I was. Anyway, so I thought, yeah, well, that might be a better direction for me to go in. Started coaching. And yeah, 2017 started coaching. So I was still a diesel mechanic. I was coaching at the local gym, which was awesome. 2018, end of 2018, started 2019, some rumblings were that the owner was going to sell. I entered that conversation, and I don't even know what date in March maybe, I think March. Anyway, 2019, me and a couple others bought the gym, so I became an affiliate owner, got my level 1 CrossFit CFL 1 at the same time, so I could be an affiliate owner. And then all through 2019, I was managing and owning the gym. I was still a diesel mechanic. Shit. I was putting in some big shifts, which I don't regret. I feel like I was always that whole like you had to be working 24/7 if you were going to be a business owner. So I thought, I'm doing it. And then by the end of the year, I was burnt out. I'm talking like doing 5 a.m. classes. I think I even slept in on a couple of them. Some of the OG 5 a.m. members will know that. Something had to give. And yeah, I just hung the boots up on the diesel mechanic stuff. And since 2019 to now, full-time gym owner, affiliate owner, loving CrossFit life.
Yes, boy.
So yeah, a bit of a long-winded answer, but yeah, that's sort of how I became.
That's sick.
Yeah.
That's sick. Yeah, no, I remember you telling me one day, I think it was, you were on call and you had to get up. Was it like you finally got to bed at like 10 or 11?
Yeah, okay, yeah. So, yeah, I know the story. This pretty much was the straw that broke the camel's back. And so I'd been working 5 a.m. at the gym, 5 a.m., 6 a.m. After that, you go to breakfast and I'll shoot to work. So started work at 8 a.m. at my mechanic's job. Worked through till 5 p.m. there, shot out to the gym, had to coach the 5:30 class and the 6:30 class. Shot after that, so 7:30, shot back to work. I was helping a mate do a couple of belts on a baler, if that makes sense to anyone. But shot there, so I spent another hour there, and then I was like, sweet, okay, I'm going home. And stupidly, I lived in Hamilton, which is a 30 to 40 minute drive from where the gym's located and where I worked. Drove home, had dinner, head hits the pillow 9:30, 10 p.m. I'm just about to doze off about 10:30 p.m. Get a call out. There's a baler that's broken down in 8 Mile Junction, which probably, I don't know if it means anything to anyone, but towards Taumaranui, but essentially a 90-minute drive from where I lived. Had to get the part that I needed to go fix the baler, get there, wrong part. There's no way I can shoot back to get the right part. This guy, the rain's coming, the rain's always coming in this bloody country. Have to get this baler going. We shoot back to his workshop. We find a spring. It was like the spring for the door to shut. Jimmy it up. Get this thing going. Do a couple of laps with him. Sweet as. Good to go. It's like 1:30 a.m. at this stage. I'm like, okay, I got to coach at 5 in the morning. By the time I get back to TA, there's no point me going all the way back to my house.
Yes.
So I go to the gym. I fall asleep on the couch. Get up, coach, do a full day's work. And that day at work, I fell asleep behind the wheel, driving my ute. Not major. It was like dozed off. I was on the other side of the road. Had to quickly pull it back. And I was like, okay, yeah, nah, this can't go on.
Yep. That's not sustainable.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that was the worst day I had. But working up until then, it was definitely like a 10-hour shift at being a diesel mechanic plus the coaching became, a big day.
Yeah, and it does just fucking pile up.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I don't regret, like I said, I don't regret doing all the hours that I did. I feel like it made me feel more validated that I can now go and play golf a couple hours a day, or even, got the opportunity to sit down and record a podcast.
Yeah, bro. Sick. Can I ask? I know you were still relatively new to coaching at that point.
Yeah.
But why? Why? That's a question we're going to ask, I guess. Why put yourself through all of that?
All the hours I did?
Yeah, like just keep going. What's the motive?
Well, I knew I wanted the coaching to work. I knew I wanted the owning the gym to work. So there was never maybe I should back off. Because if I wasn't there trying to put in the work, trying to better myself, it was never going to go forward. And the other stuff was, being a mechanic, you make a lot more money as a diesel mechanic than you ever would as a affiliate owner, which is the sad truth of it. But most affiliate owners have 2 jobs. I'm well aware of that. We're well aware of that. And most of us do it for the passion of wanting to see others succeed.
Yeah.
And we love fitness. So the why, I never really asked myself why, because it was just plainly obvious. I wanted to own a gym and I wanted that to work. I also needed to supplement my income.
Yeah, bro.
Until I got the gym to such stage where I could, still not make as much money, but make enough that I can, roll forward.
Love life.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever told you this, but I gathered that within my first week of being at the gym. And that sort of helped me make the decision to want to be there more, because it did feel like you genuinely wanted to help me be better.
Yeah.
And
oh, that's good. It's good to hear.
Yeah.
That's what I've struggled with that, and I know other members can attest to that. When you first go from being a diesel mechanic, and as yourself, even as an engineer, it's not high in energy when you're in a workshop environment like that, and it's very easy to become that person as well. So when I had to throw myself in front of a class, I definitely got it wrong a lot of the times. I'd be very short with people, and especially 5 in the morning, man. They still get it. I'm trying my best, but it's very easy to just be short. So it did take a long time, and I'm still trying to get better at it. But it definitely it was a bit of a journey.
Yeah, bro. No, you're doing good, because I got that energy straight away, even if it was a bit of banter on my first session.
Yeah, man.
That's your squat depth.
Cheers, man. So throwing it back to you. You've moved to the Bay. You're in Papamoa now. Let's talk about where you're at currently. CrossFit Papamoa, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. CrossFit Papamoa.
Yeah. How's it over there?
Wicked. It was. Yeah, I tried out a couple of different gyms. I won't name names, but I've tried out a few different gyms, and it was. I was actually over there for work. I was still based here, working for a company in TA, but we just had a job at the Mount. Right. And I tried out. We were there for like 4 weeks. Whilst I was there, I had been with my partner for well over a year. We'd lived together through COVID, so I knew we could do that. And I was looking at moving over there, and having some work in there sort of made it a lot more accessible to go and do some job interviews and stuff like that.
Right, yeah.
But I think it was Nationals, or it might have been the Open. Might have been the Open, but I wanted to keep working out
Mm.
because I needed to. Because I think it was the Open.
Yeah, I think it was. We had that leaderboard
Yeah.
with me, you, Sinclair, Logan. Yeah,
That's it.
Yeah.
So I needed somewhere to work out, and I tried out various different gyms, and none of them. Oh, I mean, I got to go and I got to work out, and we're doing the same workouts. I was progressing or maintaining, whatever, and so that was cool. But then I ended up finding me a job during that period, and that job just happened to be in Papamoa,
Right. Yeah.
which was in the Bay of Plenty. So yeah, I found myself working at engineering firm in Papamoa, and about 2 driveways down was CrossFit Papamoa.
Right.
So
yeah.
it was a no-brainer for me. I want to train after work. They've got a 5:30 class. I finish at 5. I'll finish work. I'll walk down the road and go to that gym. And I hadn't had too much luck, but coming into that gym, it was a very similar vibe to here.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And that's what grabbed me, because there's more gyms, but I didn't even have to bother going to try. I'd found my new sort of place to call home, so to speak.
Yeah.
So, yeah, shout out to Aiden, CrossFit Papamoa, for welcoming me with open arms, and it's a very family sort of vibe there. I sort of felt the odd place could be a little bit cliquey, which is fine. You know, I'm a real quiet person. If you want me to talk, chances are you've got to come talk to me. So not really that outgoing, making friends or anything like that, but going across for Papamoa was a very similar vibe to my first week with you. And everyone's cheering you on. When you're one of the new people in the class, you'll find out, if you haven't done CrossFit, when you're one of the new people, you're going to be one of the last to finish the workout. And in a gym where everyone else finishes their workout and then comes and cheers you on, that's pretty cool. Like, for these people that don't know me, but we've got that shared suffering, they know the pain that you're going through, for them to finish their workout and then come help you get through yours is pretty cool. So,
oh yeah, for sure. And I think that's always been prominent in CrossFit, and all CrossFit gyms can attest to that. Big, small, whatever. You're that last person struggling, especially if you're brand new. Yeah, you're going to get everyone coming in behind you. So going forward with your journey as a media content creator, what's your future looking like going forward from here?
what's the plan? I definitely love the CrossFit content. Getting into it a lot more, getting a few more opportunities to get my hands on, being able to get on the floor, some pretty cool comps, get near the athletes, which is definitely the more engaging content. But I have segmented that off into a separate entity itself.
Right.
My main business, Macino Media Works, is more centered around...
Yeah, plug your business, man. Like, let's get some
Macino
names
Media,
out here.
sponsored by Macino Media.
Payment pending.
yeah, invoice coming. So that's my main sort of business sort of realm, marketing and advertising, events, weddings, the likes. And beef is definitely more my fitness, or more so CrossFit content. The reason behind that, I sort of looked at other channels who dominate the CrossFit space, and there's some big names in the game.
Yeah, for sure.
And I looked at their socials it's very niche. It's just CrossFit. Where I was going wrong is that people would start following me for my CrossFit content, and then I put up a wedding, and they're like,
right, yeah, okay, yeah.
I'd see that. I'd see a plateau. You'd see, new follower. You'd check your follower count, and it's the same. Essentially, a lot of people have just left, and there's just the new people that like the new stuff have joined. So I just wanted to separate my content, and so beef prod isn't a beef prod, it's productions. That is my CrossFit page. So got a couple comps coming up. I'm pretty excited. Obviously working alongside CrossFit Papamoa, being there most days, so a lot of content for them. Want to do more content for comps coming up.
Yep.
And Yeah, definitely want to grow the beef page.
Well, you got this now.
Not that it's about not that it's about the follower count or anything. It's just you see some content out there and you're like, oh yeah, it's cool, but your mind starts going wild and you're like, could have done this, and then it's like, well, how about I just go do it?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's cool.
yeah, no.
Awesome, man.
2021 Torian Pro was my first Torian Pro experience, and it was epic. Was that yours? That's the one we were both there. Was that your first Torian?
Nah, so 2020.
Oh yeah, you had gone the year before.
Yeah, so interesting. 2020, obviously infamous for the world shutting down.
Right.
But this side of the world managed to hang on, I think, a little bit longer. So they still ran the Torian. I hope I'm remembering this right. But I had a teenage athlete go there, so I'm pretty sure I'm remembering this right.
Yeah.
Was it 2020? Yeah, it was.
Or was it
'Cause
21?
just before. Yeah, because they ran it. It was just before the world shut down. Actually, yeah. Boom. I got this.
Okay.
So we had a teenager qualify. Stella, amazing athlete. Okay. She qualified as a teenager to go to the Torian. So we went over there for that. And man, the Torian put on such a good show. I mean, the fact that they do teenagers, masters, pro-ams, that kind of stuff, you know, the stuff, if you only watch Torian on the live stream, you're missing out on what that event is, man, because they run so much, man.
It is epic.
Like this year, they did an affiliates owner workout, which sucked, but cheers, Ed. Ed Morrison ran that. Great guy. But it's cool. You get to rock up, do a workout. Okay, you're not on the main floor, but you're outside. It's just the way they treat the community there is massive. Yeah, so 2020 was my first touring experience. Yeah, I remember that one vividly because when everyone left, I stayed on, went to Melbourne to visit my brother, was there for about 12 hours, and then the text came through, you got to get home at midnight or you're not allowed back in the country. Oh. And I had to fly from Melbourne to Sydney to Christchurch back to Hamilton. Cost me like $1,000 one way. I was like, all right, cool. So that was my first story, and that's why I remember it so well.
So that because I was there, right? Are we thinking the same Torian?
Yeah, I'm sure it was.
Yeah.
Because...
And I was hanging out with Calm Porter afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was 2020.
Was it 22? Okay. Oh, I thought it was 2021. But because I swear it was 21, and then last year Tia came back.
I wasn't there last year.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying last year Tia came back, but there was only the 1 year in between.
I went 2 years in a row, 2020, 21.
We'll figure this out, team. It's all good.
We'll edit this in post. I went 2020, 2021.
A few moments later.
I'm making something up here, eh?
Yeah. I'm like,
hang on.
Wait a minute.
The story's true. Everything I just said there was true, but the dates are very up in the air at this point.
It was 21. Because I remember, from my point of view,
we were on different flights.
2 hours later.
No. 2020. Don't you remember? I did all the recording on my phone and I sent you all the footage because we were doing that video.
That documentary.
That one there, yeah.
That didn't come out.
Which is, that's fine. Stop sending me the invoice about it. Like, you never finished it. No,
1 eternity later.
remember that? I was playing Angry Birds on the...
Yeah, I know that.
That was a different year.
That was 21. Because there was a 2-week period and I'd timed it perfect. Oh no, there was like a month where we were allowed to travel again, no restrictions. And I managed to get my 2 weeks worth of travel in that 1 month because it was a year after COVID.
Yeah, I think you might be right. 2021.
Ooh, I said the C word.
You can beep that up. It's fine.
Anyway, what I was getting at was, how was it? Because I was there.
Yeah, roundabout.
Anyway, I was there, and the doco never came out, so no one really knows this, but you had a bit of an emotional moment.
Oh, man, why are you going to bring that
up? How was it getting an athlete to the Torian Pro?
That was massive. The thing is that, and I'll always say this, I only ever wrote workouts and put it up on a whiteboard or emailed it to my athletes. The work that they put in to get into that position far exceeds anything I've ever done. This girl Stella, she qualified number 1 in Oceania, and she got 3rd place there. So she did, even though Torian teen athletes don't advance on, she was still well positioned for the online stuff to become a games athlete. And she did become a games athlete, but it was because of COVID and that kind of stuff. I think they didn't even run the teen stuff. I can't remember. But from my experience getting an athlete there, it's massive. It's really cool. It's cool to see your gym like up on, the athlete's name and then the gym name. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool to see that. It was good to have her. They do one event in the stadium as well, so it's good for all the teenagers to do that. It's really cool. I would love to get more athletes back there. It's not my main drive for doing CrossFit or coaching, but it would be cool to get another athlete there.
Yeah, for sure.
Or this podcast.
Hey.
Yeah, man. Let's carry on the Torian Pro one. Yeah, what's your thoughts on that? Because you were there with CrossFit Papamoa because they had a team there this year.
Yeah.
How was that experience being sort of media for that?
Pretty cool. Wasn't official media, really just shooting from the stands. A little politics around the media side of things, which I get that you need to set sort of some standards and some rules and regulations and everything. That's cool. I was over there with CrossFit Papamoa, primarily to get content for them. Every now and then some of the hometown heroes, if I could get a few photos. So that was pretty cool. It's always a vibe. Torian Pro as a spectator, like, you don't have to be an athlete. It's a vibe. It's so good from the stands. It was quite cool sort of editing on the fly, trying to pump out some content for them, for everybody back home. I wasn't sure how much coverage they were getting on the live streams. Everyone's been real appreciative of it. But real cool. I mean, part of the reason I've sort of come here today with a bit of confidence and moving forward is because when you run into the odd athlete as they're walking around the arena and, you sort of, like, you think you know them, but we don't really. But they definitely don't know who I am. But if I just, sort of shout their name and mention them, they're more than happy.
Yeah.
The community aspect, they're more than happy to just stop and have a chat with you. And it's actually it was very strange how easily accessible all the athletes were.
100%. They're always walking around.
Yeah. And it was cool that they are willing to just stop, take the time to have a conversation with you and just have a yarn. It's just quite surreal. You see them on TV, you see them on Instagram, YouTube, everything. We view them as celebrities if you're really into the sport. But no, they're just like, hey bro, how are you? Where are you from? And it was really cool to just stop and catch up with a few of the athletes, and that's what we hope to do more of here. But no, it was sick. Met the Buttery Bros.
I was going to say, touching on that, it was almost harder to meet the likes of the Buttery Bros or Craig Ritchie than it was to meet the athletes who were out there putting on a show.
That was surreal. That was pretty cool. It was like by chance, I got invited with CrossFit Papamoa up to one of the whānaus had rented out a pro box.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And it was very last minute. Like, literally my family was coming to pick me up. I was going to shoot down to New South Wales. But they were just like, oh, do you want to come upstairs? And I was like, yeah, definitely do.
Left me out in the cold.
Yeah. Sorry, man. But
I remember 2021 getting invited to a pro box. And I didn't forget about my boy.
Yeah, okay. We'll get a box next year. That's us. But yeah, just sitting there, I'd finished sort of my camera duties for the weekend, and it was cool to just sit and experience the pro as a full-on spectator, left the camera up in the room. And then the Buttery Bros just casually just come out, couple boxes down, and I was like, no. I knew my family was on their way. I knew I only had a very short amount of time. I had to go and ask Martai and them, can we go and talk to them? Is that all good? Or is that like frowned upon? And then they're like, no, just go say hi. And I was like, ah. And then I sort of just went out there and I was like, hey, bro. So waved them down. And just the coolest guys, eh? Just come straight over. I was like, hey, man. Introduced myself. Had a yarn.
Yeah.
It's just sick. It's just epic.
Yeah. I think everyone I've talked to said that they're real easy to talk to.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Just the chillest people. But yeah, that's enough fangirling for one episode.
I think even we'll try to wrap it up there, I think.
I did have one more question. Sorry.
Here we go.
My bad.
Do I have to think of one for you now?
No, it was just sort of one I just wanted to touch on today. What does training look like for you coming into your first Masters season?
We're going to wrap it up there. Motherfucker.
That knee's 45 though. Come on. Sorry, bro.
Fuck you. Rich Froning, I'm coming for you, brother.
How do we wrap this up?
I'll say some stuff. I think, going forward for the podcast, do we name drop now? We won't name drop just yet, but in my opinion, we've got some really cool guests coming up that you will know in the CrossFit space. We're looking to put more light onto not just the athletes, but there's some really cool events that happen down this end of the world, which I'd really like to get some spotlight on going forward as well. So, yeah, if that's something you're interested in, I know we rambled on a little bit longer than we thought on this one. So if you've made it this far, awesome. Thank you very much.
Well done.
Please share it around. And we're looking for once a week. I'm pretty confident we'll get one out a week.
Surely.
As we go forward. So for now, enjoy this one. Any parting remarks, bro?
Welcome to the show.
All right, team. We'll leave it there.